Next up, I'll be sitting down with UOI's head of computing, James Persclove, in Radio on the TV. Hello and welcome to Radio on the TV. I'm your host, Corey Anderton. I'm joined here by...
My name is James Persclove.
James, what do you do at UOI?
Me? So I currently don't hold any committee positions.
Mm-hmm.
I do a show every Thursday morning called Wake Up Already with my good friend Zoe with an umlaut, Irvine.
Is that the full Zoe with an umlaut?
Yeah, that's the name.
That's a long name.
And on a Wednesday, I do another show called Hello IT with two plonkers named Jamie Parker East and Corey Anderson.
Oh, those are stupid names, that.
Yes.
They sound silly.
I actually have a joke about your name. I'm going to say it on air now.
Go.
Okay, so I think your name sounds like a crow screeching to discover that a woman has been accompanied by their male child. Because you're Corey and her son.
I just love that. Sorry, I just love the one laugh I hear in the other room. There's a singular.
There we go. Yeah.
So you say you don't have a committee position. What were you until about a week
ago? I have been head of computing.
Cool. And why aren't you head of computing?
So I stepped down on Monday.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to pursue my passion, which is shows.
Is that the full?
The only reason.
The only reason.
I wasn't stepped down due to constitutional requirements at all.
Definitely not due to the fact that everyone stepped down.
No.
No. Not at all.
That's actually why I did it.
Really, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have other questions?
I do. So what made you want to join UOI?
Oh, so in second year, I met this bloke called Joseph Sisson.
Oh, yeah.
And he was a really good baker. And he said, you should come to UOI computing meetings because I bring baked goods, cookies or something. I think he said cookies at the time. And then I started going, and I met Isaac Lowe, who some people may know. This is probably just names for a lot of people.
They are probably just names there.
Joseph, I'll talk about. Joseph was really lovely. He used to carry a big wooden stick that he'd made himself. It was like a staff. It was like a wizard staff he had carved himself, which was really fun. He always said he would make them for people, but he never did. At one point, he built a furnace, and he asked everyone in the society to provide aluminium cans that he could smelt. Weekly, at least once or twice a week, he would have multiple people from the society over for dinner, where he would cook really nice meals. I was invited over for ox tongue meatloaf once. Ooh. It's the only time I've ever had meatloaf, and it was amazing.
Oh, I sadly never got to go to one of Joseph Sisson's dinners.
You really missed out.
I did. I wish I had gone to.
I've been to some very expensive restaurants, and my best dining experience has probably been Joseph Sisson's meatloaf.
Great. I think, speaking of Joseph, just quickly, that just reminded me, you mentioned his baked goods. I'm pretty sure we have a line in our constitution now that once per semester, somebody has to bring baked goods
we do.
To a meeting in memory of Joseph Sisson.
That is in memory of Joseph Sisson, yeah, because he deserves the memory.
He does.
He was a very, very lovely man.
He's not dead.
No, he's not. He's just graduated.
Yeah, which might as well be dead.
He was supposed to be doing a master's, but he ended up spending too much time on as many societies and unfortunately didn't quite get the marks to continue.
Let's hope that doesn't happen to the rest of us.
Well, I was worried it was going to happen to me, but I got my results back recently and they were pretty good. So I'm feeling all right, yeah.
What's your favourite production? Either you've been a part of as part of UOI or in general.
So I produced Longer on the Inside recently.
Okay, what is Longer?
Longer on the Inside, it was a revolutionary idea for a show, which was, what if we do a 2-hour show between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m.? And the way you do that is by doing the show as the clocks go back for, was it daylight savings?
Daylight savings.
Yeah. So we did Longer on the Inside. That was a lot of fun. Just turned it into a sort of miscellaneous quiz show.
How did our computer systems handle scheduling a show
so
an hour that happens twice?
Only 1 hour of it got mixed clouded.
Okay. Which hour?
The second one.
Oh, okay.
But all of the hours were logged.
Yes, because they did happen. They physically.
Yes. So it happened and it was logged properly.
Because the logs, I think,
so yeah,
they use Unix time, so they would have.
So our systems were built with daylight savings time in mind, mostly. But not people doing shows in daylight
savings.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I wonder what would happen if we schedule a show for when the clocks go forward. In the hour that doesn't happen.
We'd call it shorter on the inside?
Shorter on the inside, the show doesn't happen.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
Or you'd make it a 3-hour show, it's actually 2 hours.
Yeah, because the middle gets cut out.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. That would be an intro.
I might do that. I might not. That was a good production. So in my second year, I did a show with Zoe with an umlaut Irvine, Jonathan Cook, and Ronathan Young, called Listen on Headphones. And after a year of doing that, it was an electronic music themed show. We did a special called Lizard on Headphones. That was a lot of fun too. Just the 2 hours with some good friends in the station.
So where did the lizard come from?
Oh, I like lizards.
Okay, I didn't know if this predated your love of lizards or if your love of lizards.
Nothing predates my love of lizards.
What's your favorite lizard?
The blue-tongued skink.
Why?
They're cuddly.
Are they?
Yeah.
Have you cuddled the blue-tongued skink?
Unfortunately, no.
So, okay, I'll take your word on the fact they're cuddly.
Just Google blue-tongued skink. Actually, I didn't think that was that funny, but the gallery seems to be very tickled.
The gallery thought it was hysterical.
Yeah. Maybe they Googled blue-tongued skinks and they saw how cute they were.
Maybe.
Can I ask them in there to put a blue-tongued skink on the screen?
Yeah, can we get a picture of a blue-tongued skink?
Any'll do.
Any picture. Picture on Google.
We can move on, and at some point.
At some point, there will be a blue-tongued skink.
But they're very cute. They're like they look sort of like snakes, but we'll just wait for the picture. It'll do the explaining.
That will just sit.
But in terms of bigger productions I've been part of, yeah, no, they're all rubbish actually. I like the small ones.
Oh.
Yeah. I've not been part of any big productions. I've not been to any Roses. And
you took part in a certain crossover event recently.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not at the top of my list.
We're a big fan of Showstop.
No, it was all right. I had fun, but
just not on your.
I didn't do much producing.
Fair enough.
I didn't do much presenting either. I just sort of sat and I did some PAing. That was fun. Where they give you the headset.
They give you the little headset. Click the mic. I love clicking the mic up.
And what happened is they gave me the headset and Cameron explained to me how to do it. And then Cameron kept doing it. And he'd always do it 1 second before I was going to do it. So he'd start the countdown. And I'd get really stroppy. So then I started doing the countdowns even earlier than Cameron was doing them. Just because I'm petty.
Also, you mentioned stepping down from head of computing earlier. So it feels like this might be, kicking a dead horse with this question. Yes. But what would you say are your best, worst, and funniest moments at UOI?
It's a very good question. So the worst moment, so we have this PC called Dicker, named after an alumni.
Yes.
We upgraded it recently and renamed it Biggest Dickus because that's hilarious.
Because we are very mature here at UOI.
So we had bought a bunch of new parts for it to upgrade it, and we'd done the upgrade, discovered it didn't work, and then we borrowed a video card from YSTV, and by borrowed I mean taken. You're never getting that back.
I don't think they wanted it back. It was a 970.
No, it was for the e-waste pile.
I think yeah.
No backsies. But we did then finally get it working, but then we couldn't get the operating system to install. So one night, I actually dragged my girlfriend to the station. We made tea together.
You didn't tell me this bit. God, I feel worse.
We made tea together, and we had like these little portable things. And we sat at the station, I think from like 8 till 1 a.m. together, and I just kept fiddling with this computer while I think she was doing some readings or something in the corner. It was a fun time. And eventually, I managed to get the operating system installed. I managed to get it put on the network. I think I even managed to get, the file store set up. And then I go home. And then I showed up in the morning and I discovered that my assistant head of computing had actually reinstalled the operating system after not realizing that I had done that.
Look, in my defense, it wouldn't boot. The computer wouldn't turn on.
So we did
in my
discover it
defense.
wouldn't boot, which happened to. I think it was just a faulty.
So I
USB.
assumed you hadn't installed the operating system because it wouldn't boot.
It was my mistake. I should have put a message in the channel or something.
Yeah.
That was.
So I was there from about 8 p.m. until about 1 a.m. that night, setting up the operating
That's
system.
pretty funny. But yeah, no, that was a time. Funniest. Oh, so Ronathan Young,
Who's had on the show
our former program coordinator. Have you had one on the show?
Yeah, we had one.
Yeah, I like Ron.
Last episode, I believe.
Yeah. So
No, the episode before that. Anyway.
on the show Listen on Headphones.
Yes.
Which I was doing with Ron Young and only John Cook at the time. No Zoe with an umlaut, Irvine. I don't know how the conversation got to this point, but basically, me and John started talking about chair phones. As in, a thing you listen on. I did a bit of like, listen on chair phones. And then Ron kind of didn't get it. So we thought it'd be really funny to convince Ron that chair phones were real things.
What is a chair phone?
You don't have chair phones? Wait, do you actually not have chair phones?
Wait, what's a chair?
You don't have a chair phone?
No.
Okay, cool. So if you don't have a chair phone, how do you ever listen to Chuzik?
So anyways, moving on.
So that was basically how the bit went. So that's probably my funniest. And the best will be when I witnessed our alumni, Sam Randowich, walk up to a vending machine, put the money in, order a flapjack, and then not one flapjack, but 2 flapjacks were dispensed from the vending machine. Best moment of my life, no question.
So, to round off the...
Two flapjacks.
2 flapjacks.
For the price of one flapjack.
Price of 1 flapjack.
I just feel like people don't understand the significance of this when I tell the story.
That is quite a moment. That is.
I've still not put a lizard up.
We've still not seen the lizard.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think they're watching.
I don't think they are. So, to round off the episode a bit, obviously, you've just stepped down as head of computing. We have our AGM on Monday in Central Hall at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Where we will be electing a new head of computing.
Yes.
What advice would you give to a future head of computing?
What advice?
Or someone who might want to run an AGM for that role?
If you run for head of computing at AGM, I will crush you to dust. Don't get in my way.
Okay. Someone who may want to run for it next year when you've graduated.
What advice would I give? Know how computers work? I don't know.
That's a good one.
Just have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Just,
Great.
it doesn't matter. Don't take it seriously. What's the worst case? Everything goes on off air and people blame you. It's not having it.
Yeah, we just, break our license.
Yeah, exactly. We can only get deratified.
Or we could.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
I mean, I have real advice, but it'd just be really boring technical jargon. No one wants to see that on the air.
No, probably not. It's usually, that question's usually a lot better with people who don't have boring jobs.
Head of computing's not a boring job. It's great fun. You can break things.
Yeah.
And then you can fix them.
Or you could just not.
Yeah, that's also fun.
That is also fun.
Yeah.
I do like breaking things.
I like just making other people fix things for me.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome.
I've been Corey.
I haven't been Corey. I've been James Persclove.
That's been James Persclove. And you've been watching Radio on the TV. Thanks for joining us.